Baba. I had just a comment, and it just came to my mind that in the work that I'm doing with holography, that light, laser light, for instance, is the singularity. It's the zero order. It's God. It's the source of the energy. And when the light passes through a diffraction grating, it separates into orders. And the orders they're separate from the original zero order, but they're part and parcel of the zero order. But yet they're separate, but yet they're the same, and they're part of the diffractive orders.
Right.
I think
But you can't take those diffracted beams and combine them together to get the original beam.
no, you cannot. They're separate, but yet they're emanated from that zero order.
Mm-hmm.
God is the zero order. We're the diffractive order.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Diffraction.
Very nice analogy.
It's a good word, diffraction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting that even if you have a beam that consists of a single electron, you can put it through a diffraction grating and get all of the patterns from that, as if the electron is everywhere.
All the probabilities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, even a single electron that manifests the properties of the whole beam of electrons. That's because those particles, at that level of matter, the particles begin to have some of the properties of consciousness.
Yeah.
Right, they're on the borderline between pure Brahman, pure spirit, and material existence. So, well, that's what Krishna means when he says, "I'm within every atom." You know, he's there. So naturally, we start to see some of those properties in the quantum world, and that's what's freaking the scientists out. They can't deal with it.
Cool.
They can make the equations work, but it's like they don't want to know why. Okay, I'm going to need a lot of space on the blackboard, on the whiteboard. We're going to give the background of Vedic astrology. And what we're going to talk about now is Vedic cosmogenesis. So, yeah, we all have to read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly. So Vedic cosmogenesis is a much more clearer picture of creation than we find in any other spiritual tradition. Excuse me. So I'm going to give just a very schematic overview of the structure of the spiritual world and how God expands himself into other personalities. There are two kinds of expansions of God. They're called svanksha, or integrated expansions, and vibhinangsha, or separated expansions. We are vibhinangsha. We've been through the diffraction grating. Right? Here's the diffraction grating right here. and on this side, you have the spiritual world, and on the other side, the material world. Okay? So everybody that exists is an expansion of God. But some are integrated expansions, meaning the same individual. And others are separated expansions, meaning we're different individuals. Like each of us is an individual. We each have our own individuality, our own personality, our own different identity, our own different consciousness. And one of us has no idea what's going on in another one's consciousness. I mean, if we communicate and tell each other about it, that's, you know, one way we can know. But really, we have no direct way of knowing what's in another person's consciousness. That's called vibhinangsha, or separated. We're separated in consciousness. Everything comes down to the consciousness, remember, in this system. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oops. Personality of Godhead. Okay. And the first expansion from Krishna is Balaram. Balaram plays the role of Krishna's brother. And he always, whenever Krishna appears, Balaram also appears. Like in the pastimes of Krishna 5,000 years ago in India, Balaram appeared as his elder brother. In the pastimes of Lord Rama of 1.6 million years ago, Balaram appeared as his younger brother, Bharata. And when Lord Chaitanya appeared 500 years ago, Balaram appeared as his brother, Lord Nityananda. So he always appears along with Krishna, and he serves Krishna in different ways. Therefore, he is called the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. Okay? It's like Krishna is the served Godhead, the worshipped Godhead. And Balaram is the worshipping Godhead, the serving Godhead. Okay? He is the original guru, because he shows by example how to serve Krishna, how to please Krishna. And he's called Nityananda because by serving Krishna, he gets eternal bliss. Nitya Ananda. Eternal bliss. So Balaram is Nityananda. He's the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. Okay? And then we also have Krishna and Krishna's energy. Radha. Radha, being the feminine equivalent of Krishna, represents his total energies, his total expansions. She emanates from him just like the sunshine from the sun. If you could take all the sun's sunshine and gather it up into one place and personify it, that would be like Radha and Krishna. So she is the source of all of the other devis, goddesses, and shaktis, potencies. Yes, Tom?
Is Radha the Divine Mother?
That's one of her expansions, yeah.
But
Yeah.
so is that the part and parcel, or is pretty much the same thing, Radha, Divine Mother, or is it just an emanation?
Radha, we'll get to that, okay? That's what we're going to explain. I mean, these relationships are much more complicated than that. That's why I'm doing this whole chart, to explain all that. Okay, so then Balaram, his Shakti is Rohini. Oops, Rohini. Rohini is also known as Yoga Maya. So who is Rohini? She is an expansion of Radha. She's the first expansion of Radha, and she is Yoga Maya. Just like in the material world we have Mahamaya, or the great illusion of material existence. In the spiritual world we have Yoga Maya, or the illusion, remember we were talking about virtual realities, that Krishna can expand a different form to be with all of his devotees simultaneously. And each of those devotees sees that, oh, Krishna is with me. He's not with those other devotees. And I have a special relationship with Krishna. They all think like that. So this is an illusion. It's Maya, which means an illusion. But it's Yoga Maya. It's an illusion of being linked with God, of being in relationship with God. That's what yoga means. Yoga means linking, like hooking up a cart and a horse, or having two things having a relationship with one another. So yoga, Maya, is the illusion or the virtual reality of the spiritual worlds. And Mahamaya, or Durga, or the Divine Mother, is the illusion of material existence in general, okay? But there's a lot more layers of reality in between those two. It's not quite so simple, not quite so direct. And we'll see. Okay, so from Balaram, he expands as the Chatur Vyuha. Chatur